Thoth, the God of wisdom, guides my path through the desert of my soul. The sands of time shift and swirl as I search for truth and meaning. Marked by the eye of Horus, I see the secrets of ancient Egypt. The pyramids hold the key to unlocking my inner power. I am a mystic, a shaman of the unknown. I dance between worlds, I am not alone. With every step I awaken my soul and embrace the power within me. I dive deep into the unknown and discover my true purpose. The spirits of my ancestors guide my way as I journey through the stars. I am connected to all that is, and my heart sings with all belong.
Gamrot versus Hooker. There they are. Look at them. Are these two gentlemen the same gentlemen they were in their last fights? Are they who everyone knows them for? Are they a little bit different? Are they going through some stuff? Are they changing? What kind of coaching have they gone through? Questions. Alright, anyways. Dan Hooker obviously has a longer reach. So Dan Hooker can touch him before he can touch him, right? Now that's just basic physics. Basic physics says Dan Hooker touches Gamrot before Gamrot touches Dan Hooker. Okay? Physics, right? You know? You see 6 foot, 75-inch reach. Legs. Look at this. Okay? You see this? Now that doesn't stop Gamrot necessarily, right? Maybe it does if a knee goes to his nose. Oh, no. Anyway. But we don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Here we are. Look at this. These two gentlemen. Everyone thinks Gamrot wins. Well, almost everyone. Alright. Poland, New Zealand. Home, not home. Home, not home. Travel to him, not travel to him. Okay? Alright, here we go. Alright, moving on. Alright, 33, 1990, December 11th. 5'10", 70 and a half reach. Wrestling. He's a wrestler. He's got pedal hands. Pedal hands to stay on top of you and tap you out maybe, if he's lucky. Or to punch you repeatedly. The more ground and pound. Well, you don't do anything. Unanswered punches. Alright. So there you go. There's Gamrot. That's his strategy. That's what he does. Okay? Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker has way more threats on stand-up, obviously. He also has threats on the ground too, guys. Okay? And, Nate Diaz showed Conor McGregor that anybody can beat anybody, alright? Just want to throw that out there. So don't be all like, oh, that's bullshit. There's no way Dan Hooker could ever win. No. I don't think that you could say that with 100% confidence, honestly. I don't think you could really say that. So anyways, let's get into the stuff you're really here for. You obviously know that I'm talking about Dan Hooker, but that's because I already went through all this. Instinctually, first, I was like, yeah, obviously Gamrot's going to win. I was like everyone else. Sagittarius versus Aquarius, Saturn period versus Jupiter period, 7 of clubs, Queen of diamonds. Lack of financial change and karmic time for Gamrot. Disappointment in finances and potential retirement. Ooh, ouch. Ouchie, ouch. That's the 9 of diamonds right there. I pointed out on Twitter. 9 of diamonds right here says disappointment in finances and potential retirement. Ouch. That's tough. 33, 9 of diamonds in the Saturn period. Dan Hooker here has financial success from spreading knowledge, financial success from mental success. So his mind is evolving and adapting over the fight game, and I think he's going to show a new version of Dan Hooker. We got a new version of Dan Hooker who's going to knee him in the head, maybe? I don't know. Or like not let him get much of a grinding game on Dan Hooker. And he's like, no, you ain't doing that on me, buddy. Maybe that's going to happen. I don't know. But does it matter? Is Gamrot like, you know, a Dagestani wrestler, or is he kind of just Pelohan's floating man? I don't know. Let's see. Well, here's the good news for Gamrot. He has Millionaire's card for his long range. Oh yeah, I forgot about these two. We got to go over his. Another crazy thing is that not only does he have a 9 of diamonds on his Saturn period for his 7 of clubs alignment here, he is a 9 of diamonds in his planetary rolling card. And it says that he's going to be overcoming obstacles through constant effort, which is, everybody knows that's what he does. He is the constant effort guy. So he can overcome obstacles of getting kicked in the face or punched through his constant effort of trying to get takedowns. But there's shady interactions and health challenges going on behind the closed doors here. Now, I bet you anything, they told Gamrot, like, hey, look, bro, you want to stay in the UFC and get a title fight? Then you need to stand up and bang with this dude, and you can't just be Mr. Pillow Hands on top of him, okay? They want to see him stand up and bang with this dude if he wants a title shot after this. And he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. Because I think he's at the point of either I'm going to get what I want or I'm going to retire. I think he is at that point. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Dan Hooker's over here at the crossroads of love and money with his 5 of diamonds. Financial success from spreading knowledge. So he's a mentor, he's a leader. I bet he is in New Zealand. I bet he is in all kinds of aspects of his life. So he's just got more of a abundance alignment here than Gamrot does. Although Gamrot does have the option here with the Millionaire's card, but the Millionaire's card doesn't mean he's going to get $1 million. It just means you can set up a millionaire lifestyle. Or you can set things up like dominoes falling and make you a millionaire in the future. So Millionaire's card doesn't mean you are or will be a millionaire. It just means that you have the option and potential to set up a millionaire lifestyle. So Gamrot could set up a millionaire lifestyle here with the Millionaire's card and get that title shot, okay? Here's the issue. Inner and outer mental changes, year of personal challenge. And then Dan Hardy has initiation into higher knowledge, inner and outer mental changes. Year of blessed ending, difficult ending +2, so it's like a pillow hands. And good money. Dan Hardy has the better options. He has the better sources. And then with the transit score here, we have +4 for Gamrot and +6 for Dan. Oops. Alright, so +6 for Dan. He's a little bit more better energy going for him. Plus all these other things that's going on. 78% affinity score. Split decision for Gamrot is the only way he can win. Sub, TKO, KO, split decision. Alright. So, let's get into their transit scores. We'll show you that. And then we'll get into the tarot reading. Alright, so here is Gamrot's scores. Or transits. Here's Gamrot's scores. Alright, here's Dan Hooker. And his scores. A little bit less conjuncted with a bunch of transits. Or like less transits is probably a better thing. So, and he has a higher score. And then here's their professional affinity. How well they get along. 100% is their best friends. They love each other and want to hug and never fight. 0% is they want to murder each other on sight. instantly murder each other at 0%. So they're on the more loving and liking each other's side. So I don't think this is going to be a fierce, crazy fight, which also favors Dan Hooker, because if he can have this strategy and timing to just, you know, do what he needs to, that is going to play in favor of Dan Hooker. So, and like I said, Gamrot is probably being told that he needs to stand up and just can't pillow hands people with his wrestling game, okay? He needs to either submit him or stand up and punch and kick with people and show that he can do that. Because they don't believe he should get a championship title shot if he can't be a well-rounded fighter as they want him to be. So this is a challenge to maybe deal with that. I don't know. We'll see. I could be completely wrong, but we'll see. Let's get into the tarot. All right. Okay, we got Light Seer's deck for Gamrot and Cosmic Tarot here for Dan. Let's shuffle them up, see what we'll get. Okay, with Gamrot, he has the world and his environment of the fight, the energy, the atmosphere. Everybody's on his side, right? He's traveled the world. He's went to Australia. He's been around in UFC. The world is his. He's just got to win the fight. But UFC's probably like, you can't just win with pillow hands on top. Boring snooze fest. You in Australia, boy, you better put on a show. Seven of Wands in reverse in the spirits. Everybody's out to get him, attack him, and he's like, why is everybody out to get me? And then it ain't necessarily out to get him. It's just, it's business. Don't take it personal. Six of Swords in reverse. Resistant to the flow of change, not allowing the nature to guide you. Even though he's out in nature and you're like, well, what are you talking about? He was in nature, it's guiding him. Well, if you notice, he didn't have any lover energy going on unless he has that with those guy friends of his in that video. But he has the Two of Cups in reverse. This is disharmony with emotional issues, past trauma, healing, breakups, maybe childhood issues with family or parents or something. Parents could be getting old and passing on, or family members, you know, all kinds of different things, right? With the emotions and love. And the Ace of Wands in reverse in his physical game, he's having a hard time with the Six of Swords in his mind and this Ace of Wands in his physical game of doing something different. Everybody's like, you're a one-trick pony, dude. But he isn't. He has other ways of finishing. He's done other things, right? But that's the perception that he's just gonna take Dan Hooker down and just do his one-dimensional win and get that done. So he's torn between these two worlds of being like almost one-dimensional but not, and he wants to show that he can stand up and bang with the best of them. And the Chariot in reverse here with the social game, all the momentum is against him when it comes to social aspects of his life, or he is in resistance to a change or transition to a new way of moving and flowing with social game. It might have to go back to the emotions of the Two of Cups and the healing of the trauma. Maybe that's why he was at the waterfall in the water swimming with his friends or out in nature and stuff. I feel like there's a void or something going on in between his life and work and all that stuff, that there's like a void he can't put his finger on or understand where it is or why it's there, and trying to fill it and figure it out. And that's what's going on. And he's like, I can win though and overcome and all this and that, and I'm just going to grind him out or whatever, and I'll make sure I stand up at least half a round or something, or a round and a half maybe or something. Like, he's thinking like, I want to win, but I also want to show, like, so there's this issue of confliction of what he's pretty much always done and doing it in a new, different way. Okay, so because he wants that championship, and it's either do or die for him. All right, we got Dan Hooker. Let's shuffle up and see what we get. Okay, so with Dan Hooker here, we have the Princess of Wands in his spiritual aspects. This is pretty cool because he has the Princess of Pentacles in his physical, the fight. He has the Prince of Wands in his social, celebration, or anything like that. He has Justice on his emotions. There's one issue that he has Temperance in his mind. It's in reverse, so he doesn't have a temperance mind set for this fight. Which could play into Gamrot's game. He also has the Three of Cups in reverse in his atmosphere, or the energy, or the overall performance of Dan Hooker is Three of Cups in reverse, which is like a crossroads of emotions. Torn between knocking Gamrot out right away or not. No, I'm just kidding. No. I don't know. There's something here because I think Dan Hooker is thinking more long-term career with UFC, like, you know, maybe some kind of profession in the UFC outside of fighting. I think that's what Dan Hooker's thinking about, because I think he just wants to make sure he has a career in the fight game for a long time, as long as he can get. I could be wrong about all this, but that's what I'm thinking. So that's why he's torn between doing one thing or the other, because he wants what's best for the business. So I think he's like a company man almost, I think, or wants to be one, or he's like changing into one or something, or he could be changing into one. That's an option for him. And that's the crossroads, Three of Cups emotions with work and love and what he really has a lot of passion for and stuff like that. But he's in this young princess energy with the prince and the justice. So he's gonna do the right thing and do the justice with his heart and his mind. So like what I'm getting at is I don't see him actually like, I don't know. He could accidentally knee Gamrot in the first round if Gamrot went for a takedown or something. Like if I were Gamrot, I would not be going for a takedown round one. Unless it presented itself in an obvious situation where it's like, oh, well, he just gave me his knee and into the body and I grabbed it. You know what I mean? Something like that. And we were against the cage or something. Like, if I were Gamrot, I would try to stay away from an aggressive takedown and do more of a reactive takedown with Dan Hooker. I always say that. Dan Hooker. I would be more reactive with my takedowns. It wouldn't be so aggressive. If I were a coach of Gamrot, and then if I were a coach of Dan Hooker, I would tell him, stay away from the cage and just punch and kick this dude as much as you can. And don't get taken down. That's what I would tell Dan Hooker. But yeah, after seeing all this, I think Dan Hooker's he's got justice in his heart, so he wants to do the right thing. He's in a young, vibrant energy and wanting to learn and be a harmonious, knowing thyself kind of person, a mature person, an experienced person, a spiritual person. Like, you know, the next stage of his life, he's going to be 40 in a handful of years or whatever, or half a dozen years. So he's thinking about long term from here, like 5-year plan. You know what I mean? But I do overall think that Dan Hooker wins split decision, 2 out of 3 rounds. That's what I think is going to happen. But, Dan Hooker could knee Gamrot in the face if he gets too aggressive and desperate to win in like the second or third round, and his game is not working or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at. And everybody's going to be like, what? No, Gamrot's obviously going to wrestle this dude and it's going to be boring. Snooze fest. No, I'm like, you know what? I don't know, man. It's Australia. Things get different down there. It's the southern hemisphere. Both these gentlemen are from the northern hemisphere, I think, right? No. This one's from the north, this one's from the south. So This one is New Zealand. That's Dan Hooker. And this one is from Poland. So, yeah, this is Northern versus Southern Hemisphere. And the Southern Hemisphere is going into spring. They're coming out of winter going into spring. And we're coming out of summer going into fall up here. Just something to think about. A lot of things to think about. Magnetic energies, all that kind of stuff. And locations and born regions and stuff like that. So, if you are going to gamble, make sure you're only gambling entertainment value worth of money, not trying to pay debt or pay off debt stuff. Go get help and just slowly pay off your debts. Don't be trying to pay it off with gambling, okay? Don't pay off things with gambling. Okay? Unless you're gambling entertainment value and you made, you went and gambled $20 on a knockout that paid $1,000 and you pulled it off. That would be okay. That would be smart, because then you went and used that $1,000 to pay off a debt. That's different. But the initiative to use gambling as a way to pay off debt, that's the bad thing. But if you win and you need to pay off some debt, or you're making payments towards a debt, car payments or something like that, and you win a little extra money and you want to pay off your debt to the car so you don't make those payments no more, that would be smart. That would be good. But like I said, this is all about extra money that you have to blow to try to get extra money. You see what I'm saying? It's like a risk. It's like throwing money into a risk and seeing if you can get more out of it. All right? That's what you're doing right now if you gamble on anything. Don't forget, professional help's out there if you need it. And subscribe, like, and share, all those amazing things you do. Love you. Bye. See you next time.